Algorithms are the invisible hands which mold our lives. What we watch, what we buy, and who we interact with is increasingly controlled by these black boxes which feed us information. They have become a necessity in the digital age, helping us sift through mounds of information constantly flowing through technology. There's a really good chance that the algorithm is one of the sole drivers for you even watching this video. However, as its influence grows, I can't help but feel like it's ruining the essence of how we connect online. But before diving into the impacts, I think it's crucial to understand what exactly an algorithm is, why they've become so powerful, and what detrimental impacts this power can have. Algorithms are defined as a series of steps to achieve a specific end goal. In the context of social media or streaming platforms, algorithm decides what gets pushed to virality and what doesn't. In the context of shopping or dating apps, algorithms decide who or what gets seen and or desired. It's also important to note that algorithms aren't specifically defined. That is, there is no specific team which curates exactly what content the algorithm favors. There's no specific procedure for how an algorithm makes their decisions. Rather, they serve as black boxes with defined output goals. A black box is a system that produces results without the user being able to see or understand how things are working under the hood. In the context of social media, we can sense trends in what types of content the algorithm is choosing to show, but there is no specific formula for precisely predicting its behaviors. The algorithm is always changing and adapting to the trends and content being created, which are the inputs of the black box. It is also dynamically optimizing for different desired output metrics, whether it be maximizing watch time, click-through rates, etc. And while, for the most part, algorithms and this abstraction of underlying function has been a tremendous breakthrough in technology, pioneered by the likes of TikTok, YouTube, or Spotify, I can't help but be concerned about this growing power of algorithms. Under the hood of our favorite platforms, it's important to understand the frequent mismatch between our desires as users and the incentive of these algorithms. Ultimately, algorithms are optimized to maximize our usage of a specific platform, whether that be social medias, dating apps, or shopping websites. The bottom line which these algorithms are optimizing for is profit, either directly with shopping websites wanting you to maximize your purchases, or indirectly with social media or dating apps who want to keep you watching or swiping so you see more ads and stay hooked on the platform. But this bottom line is frequently at odds with our desires as consumers for high quality and genuinely meaningful content. What made platforms like YouTube, Spotify, or Etsy so intriguing is the ability to discover content organically. We feel more connected with a creator, musician, or product if we feel like we found them by some mixture of circumstance and chance. It's organic connection, which makes us as consumers or viewers feel much more special and powerful. However, in a more mature social media landscape, I feel like we're slowly losing that charm to the growing power of the algorithm. The types of content we discover often fail to feel as organic anymore, as the discovery process is frequently just looking at our homepage or doing a search and clicking the first result. And don't get me wrong, this behavior is a compliment to just how efficient these algorithms have become. Algorithms understand our interests and behaviors so well now that we don't need to spend nearly as much time or energy seeking out new content. And again, this is amazing, but the flip side of this ease of discovery is that the average viewer is granted the privilege of being lazier. If we enjoy a video shown on our feed, or a particular creator, we don't even need to subscribe or follow. Just watch the entire duration of the video and maybe click like and trust that the algorithm will take us back to this creator. What makes this laziness dangerous, though, is the algorithm has become a necessary middleman for the content you consume, produce, or purchase. I want to circle back to this mismatch in objectives between the algorithms and us as humans. The bottom line for algorithms is revenue and engagement, so the content that will be discovered is now much more dependent on these metrics for success. Creators now also face the burden of the lazier algorithm, which is much more inclined to push popular trends as opposed to fresh, unique, or risky content. And if you're to fall out of line with the algorithm's desires, or someone else were to fall in favor with it, the connection with the end user starts to lose that organic connection which made these platforms so special in the first place. Because it's no longer the video that's the most resonant or highest quality that the algorithm loves, it's the largest spectacle with the best retention. As a result, YouTube in particular has suffered from this Mr. Beastification phenomenon where the most popular creators feel like they are loved by the algorithm first and the audience's approval is simply a byproduct. It's led to these loud intros with fast cuts and teasers of crazy things that will happen later on in the video, and an emphasis on spectacle above all else. It's a far cry from the organic, personality-driven content which gave this platform its charm just a few years ago. I also don't think this is a place to dive into Mr. Beast in particular in light of the recent controversies, but it's clear that this power of the algorithm has spurred a generation of creators who, in this dystopian way, have molded their personality to become the algorithm's favorite creator. I'll link to a video I made a couple months back about the darker reality behind Mr. Beast and philanthropic content in general, but I want to emphasize that this priority on numbers and views first with the positive influence as a secondary benefit aligns exactly with the goals of an algorithm and not as much with a human creator. This type of content has no real personality, no polarizing words or vernacular, and has taken a lot of the organic nature out of both content creation and consumption. At its worst, it's potentially led to a creator like Jimmy seeing his content as a mere driver for views and numbers first, and perhaps community and influence second. The flip side of this artificial, non-polarizing content is the prevalence of extremely charged content, which is designed to elicit reactions within narrowly defined echo chambers. Again, this type of content is much easier for the algorithm to find a strong audience for, which perpetuates even more extremist or alarmist content. In some ways, it's starting to feel like social platforms are regressing back to the tendencies of legacy media, with the most popular content being either mindless reality TV show type of content or agenda-based polarizing broadcasts, slowly stealing the soul out of what used to make YouTube so special. And while I'm very self-aware that most of this can just be taken at face value as bitter criticism by a small creator, I just want to emphasize that the algorithm does do a lot of amazing things for us as consumers and creators. But to let it consume our entire discovery process is to let corporations have much more power over us as viewers or creators. The increased power of the algorithm hinders creativity. More creative content exploring different themes or content styles suffers at the hands of this algorithm because it's much easier for a black box to optimize for numbers based on defined trends it already knows than to try something entirely new. A more recent example than the Mr. Beastification trend has been YouTube's newfound watch time growth on TVs, which has led to the trend of longer content being pushed by the algorithm. As a result, you've probably noticed your favorite creator suddenly starting to post 20-minute, 45-minute, or even hour-long plus videos. I get it, optimizing for the algorithm is just a part of the game, and a lot of times can challenge you as a creator to take more risks and ultimately make content that's more worth watching. But it's this game that's slowly taking an increased importance over just creating something people will connect with. Because again, the algorithm's objectives frequently don't align with us as viewers or creators. The appeal of these new generation tech platforms as opposed to these traditional legacy media giants is that we can choose who to watch, how to watch, and most importantly, how we discover and connect with our favorite content and creators. In a sea of endless amazing content, I urge you to go out and explore, out of the box of just what your home feed recommends to you. Take the time and energy to reclaim the discovery process and reward creators who don't necessarily fit into the current trendy black box. I would also urge creators to be a bit more stubborn about taking risks with their content, exploring and challenging themselves creatively as opposed to just trying to become the algorithm's favorite one-trick pony. Taking the time to seek out new creators, new content styles, and leaving a like, comment, or subscribing is what will keep the magic of these platforms alive. To get lazy on our consumption is to miss out on meaningful connections and reduces us as both viewers and creators down to mere numbers in a black box. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new here, click on Homer's beautiful face to subscribe. I make new videos every Friday. Click on the last video if you missed it, and I hope you have a beautiful day.